Okay, in today's video, we're going to go over attack tutorial. I'm going to show you how to attack, how to trigger players, how to make advanced movements with just the basics. If you're struggling with attacking, you don't need to rely on role pluses. I'm actually going to use a cheap team and a more expensive team. So I'm using top strikers first and cheaper ones. I'm going to show you the difference. This video is sponsored by the Acer Nitro 17 with the AMD processor. This powerful laptop is ready for all your favorite games thanks to AMD's Ryzen 7 8845HS processor. Now, not only does the laptop have a powerful processor, it also has a powerful RTX 4060 graphics card, 32GB of RAM, and a 1TB SSD. The 17.3 Quad HD 2560 by 1440p IPS screen has a 165Hz refresh rate. The newly refined chassis comes with an extra few tricks: dual fan cooling, dual intakes, quad exhaust, and the chilling of the liquid metal thermal grease on the CPU. On the keyboard, there's also a 4-zone RGB keyboard. Take control of the inner workings of our laptops via the dedicated NitroSense key. Take control of the fan speed, lightning, and more. Now let's go straight into the game. What I want to do is the first half I want to put players in their correct positions, and the second half what I'm going to do is I want to put players in the incorrect positions just so you can see the difference and how important it is to use the L1, R1. I know, for example, like the player lock and things like that have current bugs at the moment, but the key thing is just keeping it simple and seamless. Like even if you have, for example, a good player, like for example, I got Son who's got a roll plus, sometimes Son's not going to be making that run. You see, for example, like here, I got to press the L1 button to make sure Son makes that run there. So you see, I'm not relying on the game to do it for me. So the L1 button that you can see with as you can see that player making a run in behind Rodrigo. We're going to change the players as well in the second half. So I want to show you on both ends, first with good players, and I would say a player that's not as good. We're just going to be focusing on attacking here, not too much scoring. So I'm just going to focus on my attacking chances. Now what I do is, I always like to do the 1-2s backwards, right? Backwards, create those overlaps, create those movements. Then you can see, then I can create a chance to get Sean to take that shot towards goal. So you see, if I never did that 1-2 backwards, there would have been no movement. That play would never have made any progression. The same thing here, like Kudananji, doing that 1-2 backwards. And there's so many things you can do. You can also do a lob pass or a precision lob pass, something a bit more high level, but a simple L1 triangle will more than suffice. Especially because people are defending normally the central areas. The benefit is this year that you can't control your defensive width, so you can't make the team more narrow as you would have probably done otherwise before. Got a bit unlucky there. Lost the ball again. It's running back, and this is, although we're going to talk about attacking now, but I still always make sure defensive integrity and never be aggressive, never be overly aggressive, especially when you're winning the game. You see again, using the L1 button, now it's all about timing of the pass, like so. And you can see even against Kunde, probably one of the fastest, if not the fastest centre back probably in the game, especially with a run and jockey playstyle. At least top 3 centre backs who's got pace. I think the run and jockey speed, you could argue, influences the defensive pace. Again, 1-2. And again, don't forget, I'm choosing a 4-4-2 here, nothing special. The benefit of having 2 strikers, this is one of the key benefits of having 2 strikers, is at least there's someone else with you. So like if I pass the ball, for example, let's say it's Son, as you can see, he's isolated in the middle. So when I win the ball back, it's actually much easier for my opponent to defend against me if you see my opponent's doing the same thing there. You see that? Waiting for that pass. Just going to defend a situation like so. Not going to panic. We're expecting a cutback. So what I was saying is the reason why you want 2 strikers. Let's say I had 1 striker forward. My opponent knows I'm only going to pass the ball to the striker. So I'll give you an example, right? So I'm just going to simulate here what would be like. So I'm just going to pass the ball here. Big mistake for me. I was trying to find where my striker is. It's my fault. So what I was trying to do there, I was trying to use a creative run button and try to push the centre back out of position. Centre striker out of position. Okay. Let's wait for this. I'm going to show you what I mean. After my opponent finished celebrating like they won the World Cup. Okay, so what I mean, for example, like here, right? Let's say Son is isolated. So my opponent knows I'm going to pass the ball to Son. So watch. See my opponent, how that my opponent's defending the ball? Look, you can see with Son, look, you can see it, to pass the ball to Son is actually very, very difficult. Whereas if I give the ball back, now watch how Swanson then makes her way up the pitch, right? So you can see now with 2 strikers, you can see, look, now I can create that gap. So even though my opponent's AI is marking Son, I have that availability. So that's something just to bear in mind. So you can see again here, I've got 2 players. And of course you can play them off each other. So I can set Son up there for the shot and then take the shot straight across goal. But if I only had 1 striker, it would have been a bit more difficult. So if you have a formation and you're struggling, you're playing like a 4-2-3-1, which is still a good formation. I'm not saying it's not a good formation, but maybe put a Cam as a shadow striker. We'll add some more players just to give you some more oomph in the final third. Again, L1 trigger, And I believe that's offside, so I'm just going to do a super cancel, and that way the game doesn't register as offside. Being a bit aggressive here. Again, this is my left back, so I can use my left back to attack. It's no problem, as long as I don't lose the ball. That's the key. So you can see like here using the L left back and right back to overlap. But again, if I lose the ball here, I'm in serious trouble. So you have to trust yourself to defend. Because look, have a look on the radar. Look, I've got 2v2 now. If I lose the ball, I'm in trouble. So I'm just going to progress forward, show you again. So I'm doing that 1-2, create that overlap. You can see there's too many players. My opponent can't mark them all. Now Llorente's free. I can cross the ball if I want to. I'm just going to do a bit of trickery. I'm going to bring the ball all the way back to the center. Pass the ball to Swanson and do a first time shot. And good save in the end from the goalkeeper. Finishing, I think probably this year you probably have to, I probably spoke about this before, but you may have to use precision shooting. There's probably a very high chance you may have to use it. Another thing you can do is long shots. Now, if you have someone like Son who's got the finesse shot playstyle, even better, because what you can do is you can create, this is a weird angle, it's probably not going to work, but if you create that 45-degree angle towards goal, you can do that. Another thing I like to do is the power shot. I'll explain this as well. So for example, like this is too extreme, but like you can do a power shot like that. If you can do it across goal and you get the timing correct, I'm just going to show you how actual simple it is. L1, R1, a shoot button. And even if you're so far away, I think this should be okay. So you can see hit the crossbar that time. That's a nil, guys, top tip. If you're part of the Patreon series, you can see that how to do that tutorial. Then I was uploaded on the day the game came out, actually. Quick 1-2. And so that's just an example. Now what we're going to do in the second half is I'm going to take some players off. Again, we're just going to focus on the attacking elements here. So what I'm going to do is, you're going to say to me, oh, Neil, it's fine if you got Swanson, right? So I'm going to go with some more realistic players. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Kudananji because she's still a good player. And I'm going to put Alvarez, which is known to be a good player, but maybe most people haven't got him. So I'm just going to put Adeyemi in. I'll take Son off here. And I put Williams. She costs about 1k. And then what I'll do is I'll then sub on Alvarez as well. So you can see here now we've got more of a realistic example of someone you might have in striker, Alvarez. Then you have the cheaper cards like Kudananji and Williams. And even though they're going to be playing out of role, out of position, I'm going to show you, this is why the most important thing is those L1 triggers. Get the ball back here and defend the situation first. Not too sure. Gone for the slide tackle there. Going for a quick 1-2. So you're not relying on AI. Then the goalkeeper, rushing the goalkeeper's goalkeeper going to come out. And then I'm going to go near post, shot there. Because I was expecting for that play to move the goalkeeper. I know there's some issues with goalkeeper movement as well. But that is also why I went near post, because that gap opened up. And some angles this year, near post can be a bit more effective as well. And you can see like I got the ball here. One thing you could do is a creative run. So for example, I can ask that player to go in the middle there. And what that player is, when that player will come back to the bottom side, you're going to see just over here, she's unmarked. That split second, get that 1-2 back to Alvarez, and then I can take the shot. So you can also use creative runs to create those situations. This is why I always say to you guys, it doesn't matter how much the basics you do. You need to be able to trust yourself with the ball. You've got to be like, okay, can I trust myself to dribble with the ball? Can I trust myself to shoot? But to create the movement, you've got to always use that L1 button. It's the most important thing. Just going to defend the situation here. Camavinga, what a card he is, by the way. Llorente, perfect cards. Camavinga, Llorente are pretty, especially Llorente. I've actually got him on my sub bench. Quite a versatile card. Wait for the slide tackle there. Almost gave the ball away there. More of a tactical foul. Should have marked that player there. But also, you see, I'm also scanning as well now from a defensive standpoint where my players are. So, for example, let's say I win the ball back. I know that player is there, you see? And this is why the cop camera angle is beneficial, because I can see everything. For example, I could see that player over there. I don't have to look at the radar. I don't have to look away from the screen. A lot of the top tier players and the pro players, they may use, for example, another camera angle. But I recommend even some pros use co-op. You can see everything. It saves you glancing down. Telebroadcast is very good, but you know, if you're always glancing down like this, then it's fine. But when you're using co-op, you don't have to glance down at all. You can just focus your eyes on the screen. But I agree, telebroadcast being a bit more zoomed in can be effective, especially with dribbling. Got to go and mark that lane. I'm going to run back with my CDM because it's still the most effective way of defending this year. Keep my defense in line. Be aggressive with my CDM first. That way I keep my back four as a safety net. Let me know if you want to see a defending video as well where I go in depth to talk about the principles that I use. Again, go with a through ball. And you see that now my opponent's gone a bit more aggressive. It was very passive when the game started. But now going towards more of an aggressive demeanor just to maybe get the ball back in. You can see, look, over-committing. Big defensive mistakes here. This is why it's so important to get that first goal, because you can control the game and not have to worry about, okay, what's going to go away. One other quick tip I want to give you is the speed boost skill moves. Now, the strafe one is one of my favorite ones this year. It's going to go like this, swap it to the right back. That way the centre back goes back in position. Look at Llorente. Look, such a good card. Going for the slide tackle. Is it a foul? Oh, it is. Going to quickly move a player. Now, you can't move the goalkeepers because it's currently bugged at the moment. So I'm just going to put a player on the line. I make the wall jump, triangle, and I'm going to head the ball away. Do you know what? That's a fantastic free kick. Fair play. What a goal. I put the player on the line. The only way it would have scored is if it went into the top bin. Fair play actually did go in top bins. So if you watch that back actually. Let's have a look. What a shot, to be fair. Maybe Llorente should have got it, but I'll be honest, it's right in the corner. Well, not in the corner, but more on the top. But like I said, a play style with someone like Griezmann, they got the power shot, the finesse shot play style plus. And like now, good thing is my opponent won't be as aggressive anymore, so it'll be a good example now to show you some more attacking phases. So I'm just going to run back here. Don't know if I should tackle here. Not too sure really. It's going to be a bit more passive. Wait for my opponent to make a decision. I made a big mistake there, so I'm going to switch that player there. Don't lose the ball. Now also, you see, look, I'm also looking on the other side, so I can always lob the ball. If there's nothing available, I can lob the ball. And you see, look, I'm pushing L1. Even if I don't want to pass the ball to those players, I'm pushing those players to make those run. You see that? Even pushing Lavelle forward, so like Tonali, I can push Tonali forward into that space, and maybe I can create that third player just like that, and then try to get this goal if the shot is good enough. And that is how you can introduce the third player in. Let's go defend the situation. Ball went through my legs, a bit unfortunate there. Going to defend this manually now, a bit more manually now. Going for the slide tackle. Slide tackles are a bit weird this year. I've talked about this briefly as well. Like, I feel like they're a bit bugged at the moment. Like, you try to do a slide tackle and the ball won't really slide towards the player. It will kind of just go around the player. Sometimes miss the ball directly. Hopefully that could be fixed in the first patch. But yeah, it's a fantastic shot. But you can see, for example, like if I go to tactics, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put everyone out of position. So you can press triangle and you can see, for example, like there, put Kudananji there, Adeyemi. I'll leave Adeyemi in striker just for now. But you can see, look, I've got Williams. Actually, I'll put Alvarez there. Hang on. I'll do something like that. So Adeyemi will be the only person in position. You'll see basically it's the same thing. So even if they have that role, for example, they'll be still performing that movement. But again, you're still relying on yourself. Remember I said to you, it's all about the basics. If you watch every top tier player, every pro player, every elite player, it's all about the basics. Good play from my opponent and tried to go for the near post. Probably a bit too ambitious in that situation. As we come to the closing stage of the game, hope I didn't make a big mistake here. Yes, I did by looking away. That is one thing you should not do. Don't look away. Got a bit unlucky here. You know what? That's my fault. I was looking away at my my computer. Bad mistake, but it's fine. Quick 1-2. And you can see, look, even though she's not in the right role, she's still making those runs. As long as like, so now it's all about timing. So you can see, like, I'm just waiting for her. Waiting. Adeyemi. And I'm going to go the ball Lavelle. Then we'll do an L1 trigger, driven past to her. She'll make the ball go forward. And I was going to take a shot near post. I was in a mind of 2, actually. And of course, you can still do this is Neil Guy's top tips. You can do like the strafe speed boost. And of course, you can still do the cutbacks if you want to. Maybe a bit too extreme on one there. That's the one. Bit unlucky, actually. Gonna run back here. I'm not gonna make that tackle. Just gonna keep my distance. Keep my line, hold my defensive line. And I can see I'm glancing at the radar. I can see that player going forward. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use Tonali as that extra player. Actually, I'm gonna change it. Should have made, probably, see that situation, I probably should have made a pass. I ran because I thought I had space available, but actually I didn't have space available. My opponent's gone for the spectacular. You see, it's almost like a game of mistakes as well. So like here, I'm just going to do a 1-2 backwards now. So you can see I'm going for the final play now, the final attack. Bit unlucky. That left stick dribbling movement sometimes catches me off guard. I'm so used to left stick dribbling being fluid. Even with someone like Batcher, it can be sometimes a bit sticky. And a ball, don't know what that rebound was there. Now let's not make the same mistake again. Pass the ball short. That's actually a big mistake, by the way. People make all the time. Big mistake. So make sure you don't make that mistake again. We've got one more final chance. We can push the ball going forward. So we're going to push it forward. We're going to make Williams run. Triggering Kudananji behind me. That's it. Adeyemi is man marked. But anyway, look, I hope this was just a bit of an example. It's not really about the score of the goals, more just creating chances and how to be attacking inside the game. But also an example of showing you how sometimes even just looking away sometimes or not concentrating, you can make silly mistakes, and that will ultimately what will cost you the game. Anyways, just want to say thank you very much for watching this video. And a massive thanks to AMD and Acer for sending me the Nitro 17 with the AMD processor. I've been using a laptop on the go with the 17.3 Quad HD screen being my favorite feature, because the best thing is you can play an FPS game playing 1440p, like Counter-Strike for example, and still get the high frames without compromising quality. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.